Do you stay loyal during the talking stage? Do you get paid when you're in a job interview? What is this? Why are all the girlies doing this? If they do it, it's a red flag, guys. Run away fast. And okay, fine. Don't stay loyal. But you're only screwing yourself over if you really like the guy, because a guy doesn't want a woman who is talking to a bunch of other men, sleeping around and being a hoe. Men value purity, innocence, and lack of experience, quite frankly, and you showing him that you have all these other options and you got this little roster that the Caller Daddy Ho podcast host popularized, it only makes you a lot less valuable. So keep digging your own grave.
How childhood neglect creates romantic obsession in women. When you grow up without enough love, you become an expert at seeing love where there isn't any. You build stories in your mind. If I say the right thing, if I'm patient enough, they'll see I'm the one. Mm-hmm. It's like an addiction to the idea of being chosen. Mm-hmm. Your body mistakes anxiety for excitement, mm-hmm. and your mind calls it chemistry. Mm-hmm. That's not romance. That's survival. It's what happens when you were loved inconsistently as a child, when one day you were hugged, mm-hmm. and the next day ignored. Mm-hmm. You learned that love meant chasing, proving, overgiving. Mm-hmm. As an adult, you fall for emotionally unavailable men, mm-hmm. because deep down, you're still trying to earn the affection that once felt out of reach. Mm-hmm. It's why so many women overthink texts, replay conversations, and feel empty when they don't get a response. Mm-hmm. They're not crazy, they're traumatized. Mm-hmm. They're just trying to fix the past with people who mirror it. You don't have to keep repeating the same cycle. Just take Liven's free 3-minute quiz, and it helps you see where your triggers come from and how to finally feel safe in love.
I just saw a video of a girl saying something along the lines of, her boyfriend worked like 12, 13 hours, said he was too tired to like stop and pick up food on the way home. Been there, done that. And so she was like, I'm cooking him and taking him dinner. The very first comment when I opened up that comment section, and what does he do for you, sis? Okay. I'm going to talk in a very broad sense. In this generation, it's all about me. I. What do I get? What do I want? Since when did it leave everybody's brain that a relationship was supposed to be a partnership? When did that leave? Common sense has left the building. And everybody, me. What does he do for me? What does she do for me? What do I get out of this? What am I going to get? I'm not going to be in a relationship until I get everything that I need.
A lot of these modern women, they really do ruin their chances with a lot of these men out here. We keep on hearing, oh, well, you know, there's somebody for everybody, yada, yada, yada. But then we start hearing, well, you know, I had, you know, about 120 bodies. I'm guessing, you know, I really stopped counting my junior year of college or high school or whatever it is you spend in your 20s when you should be honestly and truly in school. I'm not saying that you can't go out there and have fun. And I'm not saying that people don't go out there and have fun. I'm saying modern women seem to take it to the next level. They seem to take it to the next level. It's irresponsibility is what we're looking at. And that's what a man is looking at when he looks at your body count. How irresponsible have you been?
Can we take a picture together?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Fun.
Yo, you trying to suck that out? You're underage.
I'm 20.
I don't want. I mean, if you wanted to see it, you could have just asked me.
Okay. Can I see?
Not here. You want to go viral that bad?
No.
You need some attention? I can sit here and give you attention. Are you deprived of attention? I can sit here and like talk to you.
Yeah. No.
All I'm gonna say is this is fatherless activities, sweetie.
I have a father, a loving father, actually.
Surprising considering you're dressed like that and you're trying to pull down my pants in public.
Dressed like this.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with the way I'm dressed?
Yes. It's called lack of self-respect.
Oh, okay. So I can't just dress for self-love?
That's the kind of thing you wear to bed or at home. You shouldn't step out the house in that. Or to the pool. It looks like you're gonna go swimming.
Okay. So I can't just wear this just to feel comfortable?
You can, but you shouldn't.
Yeah?
You can, but you shouldn't.
Oh, I shouldn't?
You know what self-respect is?
Yes, I do.
Well, you lack it a lot. You could be a 10 if you dress properly.
Hey, explain that to me.
Again, just cover your body like you're not at the swimming pool.
Actually, am
just cover
covering my
up.
body, like enough.
Then button up the jersey.
Not enough. What if I'm hot? It's hot.
Do you
out.
see anyone else out here in their bra and booty shorts?
Yeah.
Where? Look at this beautiful woman right here. Ma'am, you raised an amazing daughter. The girls these days do not dress that. Like, she has self-respect.
But here's the thing, like equal pay, feminism can really only exist when there are comfortable air-conditioned office jobs. You didn't hear feminists in the 1800s saying, I want to go into the coal mines and get black lung.
If you look around today, the highest echelons of earners are all men, but then the lowest as well, all of the most difficult jobs, the ice road truckers, like you said, the coal miners. Whenever you go to foreign countries and you see people digging ditches on the side of the road, it's never women. And I don't see you guys fighting for those positions.
So we should probably analyze, aside from just the money that people make, we should analyze other sorts of gaps, right? So there's dangerous job gaps, for example. Men are more likely to on the job gap. Men are more likely to be electrocuted to gap. Men are more likely to be crushed to gap. Men are more likely to drown to gap. More likely to work outside in the heat or cold gap. More likely to work undesirable, disgusting, and dirty jobs gap.
More likely to war.
So, I mean, there's all kinds of gaps. Are those gaps due to sexism against men?
So what continues to happen over and over to a lot of men, actually good men, actually decent men, is, and women, modern women will say this, and they'll say this is what they expect. I expect the man to text first. I expect the man to do all of the planning, grow some, and, from start to finish. I want to see, and they say this online, I want to see you from start to finish, plan a date, plan this, plan that, do this, do that. And it sets them up in a way, and society backs them a lot of times on this. It sets them up in a way to make it seem like they're the only ones in the relationship that you need to get their approval. Like, the man doesn't need to say, okay, I'm doing things, so what are you going to be doing? How are me and you going to connect? Let me see what you can do. When it comes to that point, modern women stop. And all of a sudden, I don't have to prove myself to you. But a man has to prove him, oh yeah, that's how it is. That's what a man should do. Right. And when men do that and they get no reciprocation, what do you think is going to happen?
You play a very large part in the way that I comforted my children. My ex-husband did not allow me to give them ice cream or cookies or go to fast food places, but I would sneak it to them so they could be happy.
I doubled in weight. It got up to over 200 pounds by the time I was 12. But as I gained more weight, my dad started to get more and more upset with me because of it. And he tried to stop me and Carlton's weight gain, but it didn't stop us from eating how we wanted. And by the time I was 13, I was over 350 pounds. And Carlton was 5 or 6 and around 200.
When I was around 10, I think that's when it got to its worst with my dad. So as a family, it was at a point where we couldn't take it anymore. So my mom took us and we ran.
I felt very relieved when finally I was able to escape.
Being away from my dad was such a relief to all of us. Instead of it being somber, everyone was happy about it. And I remember being allowed to eat as many desserts as I wanted, and I would just take advantage of it, and I would eat, and my mom wouldn't be crying, and my sister would be smiling, eating too. So it was a peaceful time. By the time I was 11, I was over 300 pounds, and it was a massive problem. Kids were teasing me. My mother had to constantly try to scramble and find new uniforms.
Stop approaching women you know you cannot afford. You already see the woman's lifestyle. You see how she's living.
So if she's already living that lifestyle all on her own, what exactly is the issue?
You know you can't afford it. Now when she asks you for money to upkeep the lifestyle that she's already living.
Wait. What exactly are these women in these scenarios doing? Why would they be asking men for money in the first place? I thought these women were strong and independent and could do things all on their own. And obviously they've been maintaining their lifestyles beforehand. But yet they would ask men for money while they're dating. That's where they're giving the impression that some women aren't as strong and independent as they want everyone else to think that they are. It's either that or they just view men as walking ATMs. So which one is it?
You want to get an attitude. Go be with your type. She's not your type.
Right. They should be with their type, shouldn't they? The type of women that actually want a relationship and don't view men as just a means to an end.
And I think another thing that, kind of confuses men is that a lot of these modern women have a whole checklist of the things that they need you to do. They have a whole checklist of the things that they want you to do. And then when you meet those things, or you're pretty well through that list, like you're checking maybe not every box because nobody's perfect, but a good majority of the boxes. She'll say something like, well, I mean, sometimes she don't even say anything. She just acts disappointed, like, okay, is that it? What else do you have? Like, I expect more out of my man. You know what I mean? And then when he asks, she's like, oh yeah, you're doing great, but I know my friends would do, or my dad would do, or my grandpa, or I've heard stories and tales of my great-great-grandpa, who I never even knew, doing this for my great-great-great-grandmother. So I need you to treat me like that. That's a myth. He never did that. If you go back to her and you ask her actually you can't ask her, because she passed away. Your mother's lying to you. That's a...
Let's hear it for the band of the year.
Almost like the club isn't a place for a married woman. It's almost like when you get married, you're supposed to grow up and not be a little girl anymore and stop wanting to have fun by going out and partying. It's almost as if being at clubs is something children do because they don't know how to have adult fun. Probably why most kids start clubbing at around 15, 16 and get IDs, and most actual grown adults outgrow it by the time they're 23. This is equivalent to somebody who wants to be a reporter in a war zone, but once they get to the war zone constantly go, I'm not a soldier, I'm press, look at my badge, I'm press. I'm pressed, don't shoot me. Hey, I'm pressed, don't shoot me. Like, if you're that worried about getting shot, if you don't want to be, then you shouldn't have went to the war zone in the first place. Just as easily say, well, I should be allowed to go there without having to worry about that. Yes, and press should be allowed to be in a war zone without worrying about being shot because it's against the Geneva Convention. It's a war crime to shoot press, right? Just like it's a crime for you to be and for you to be uncomfortable. That's not right, but it's still what happens if you put yourself in that situation. I don't want to get shot for being a reporter, but if I get shot, I have to accept the accountability that I got shot because I was there. It's not good that I got shot. That person that shot me committed a war crime and they're a horrible individual, but I still chose to be there. So me being shot is a result of my actions and it is my fault.
Now, this is how much my dear sweet husband pays me for being at home.
So we have 3 home-cooked meals a day for 3 children. That's priced at $120 a day for 365 days a year. So that gives us a total of $43,800. Then we have housekeeping and laundry services. This includes dishes, folding, scrubbing, and finding lost items. That gives us a flat annual rate of $25,000. And then we have toddler emotional regulation and crisis management. This includes tantrum control, sibling mediation, and snack diplomacy. And that's priced at $35,000. And then we have frustration fees. This includes repeating myself, cleaning up surprises, and surviving chaos on the daily. That gives us a total of $15,000. Then we have homeschool and early childhood education fees. I do homeschool our 2, 3, and 4-year-olds, and that's priced at $10,000 per child. That gives us $30,000 in tuition. And then we have newborn care and overnight services for the baby. That includes feeding, soothing, and 0 sleep for me. That's priced at $25,000. Then we have breastfeeding and on-demand nutrition plan. This is 24/7 meal service exclusive to one VIP client, and that's priced at $18,000. Then we have cleaning and sanitation department. That's toy management, mystery stains, and biohazard disposal. And that gives us a flat total of $20,000.
You know, you have a lot of these modern women that are continue to ask why men don't approach, right? And, you know, a lot of times, if they're honest, you know, there's a part that they continue to leave out of their question. And I think they really know it, right? I think a lot of men feel like, you know, their social roles have changed. So even if you have like a normal interaction or something like that, all of a sudden, you know, you're getting labeled as like somebody that's creepy. You know, you're getting embarrassed. You're getting labeled as somebody who's doing stuff that's inappropriate. And I don't think modern women really understand that when you label somebody as creepy, you make it seem like they're, you know, sneaking around windows and doors and stuff like that. And that's just like weird.
Listen, I don't like coming on the internet and saying pretty girl because people can get rude and be like, you're not pretty. But anyways, pretty girl issues. Number one, let me tell you something, an issue that we face as pretty girls, yeah? Men think that we're constantly talking to men. Constantly talking to men. And it's so annoying because it's like, they don't trust us. Automatically, we are not trusted because they think that we're automatically got a whole line of men that's like running for us, or our DMs are so full that, you know, there's no way we could be taking them seriously. Baby, the pretty girls are the ones you need to go for because pretty girls are the most loneliest women ever. Think about it. So many men trying to get in contact with us, okay? But none of them are of quality. If you know you're of quality and you're a good man, approach a pretty girl. I'm telling you, you can probably get her. Because she's probably tired though. She's probably really tired because she's experienced a load of men just like her for her looks and not because of her personality. The one thing about me, I always look out for this. A lot of men like to do this thing where they constantly call me pretty and say that I'm good looking or I'm sexy, my body is all of this stuff. I'm not looking for that. I need a man of substance. I need a man that can hold a conversation with me without having to say, you're beautiful consistently. Thank you for admiring my beauty. It's nice. But that's not all I have to offer. I have brains up here. I'm educated, highly, okay? I've got things going on for myself. You know, I do things. Get to know me. I'm very intelligent. Us women in general, not just pretty girls, we're all intelligent. We have brains. Okay, not all of us, but some of us. We do what we need to do to get by, but we are brainy women. So it's like, stop telling us how pretty we are and how, you know, how gorgeous we look. We want to know that you really, really like us. We have substance. Please.
A lot of these modern women are thinking and figuring that men are detached. Men don't really engage with us like they used to. Well, you know, for a lot of men, it makes sense to see something and keep walking by. And when you hear a lot of these ladies out here confirm, even though you're saying, no, stop and talk to me. The ladies out here, the modern women online, be loud and wrong. But with the stakes as high as they are today, men can't afford to get it wrong. Not with these modern women. So they just keep on walking. That's the safest choice.
My husband would say, hey, are you going to make dinner for the kids? I would hear, have you even planned anything? Like, are you like totally going to like forget about feeding the kids again? His words would actually go through a filter and be changed. I mean, it's demonic, really. Fear's so demonic. And it would change. I'd be like, well, I mean, yes, I was going to. And now I feel like a bad mom, right? So if I would hear these things like that, I said, now this is what's crazy. For 2 weeks is all it took. And I told my husband, I'm going to sound weird, but every time I hear accusation that I'm a terrible mom, I'm going to say I'm a really good mom. So those random times I'd be like, I'm a really good mom. 2 weeks. And it completely left. Thank you to you. I have never once since that point thought that I wasn't the mom that my kids needed. Now I've made a ton of mistakes. I've apologized a lot. I've learned so much I would do different. But in all of that, I don't feel the shame of failing them that was going to bury me before. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, these modern women, they do this weird thing, man. Modern women just do crazy stuff nowadays, right? They're out here, they go to therapy and they think that they know everything, right? So now you have these modern women that are ending relationships, situationships, I would even say, It shouldn't be that serious. I'll even go as far as to say these are not even situationships. What we're talking about is modern women ending like maybe even a week of talking. Maybe even a week of talking with 4-paragraph essays. Texting these guys 4 paragraphs long. If you're going to do that, just send me an email. If you're going to do that, just send me a voice note or something like that on WhatsApp so I can at least listen to it while I'm working or I'm cooking. You know what I mean? But they want to send this, oh man, you know, we have misaligned attachment styles and you didn't want to hold space for me and you didn't come over here and do this for me. And the guy was like, I just had to work the next morning. I just had to go to work, man. And you were texting me when I was asleep. I was at a company event. I didn't have my phone on me. That's what I told you. I couldn't do anything. But that's what modern women do. That's how they act. They act like, well, if he ain't handling it in this way that I want him to, or he's not doing the things that I want him to, avoiding attachment style, mommy issues, daddy issues, narcissists. What are you talking about?
If you're a girl just like me who's being passed around in college who no longer feels the drive in her mid-20s and listen up. Baby, I ain't afraid to admit I was a but after being in my 20s, I literally needed a man to be 6 feet away, backed up, no drive, okay? Drier than the Sahara Desert. Girl, we needed to figure her out.
You know what? I blame the Protestant Reformation for this. You're probably thinking to yourself, why do you blame the Protestant Reformation for this? Because if people were still afraid of being excommunicated from the church, what are you talking? Like, I know she's just trying to sell honey packs, right? But like, there's no shame in society. And I think that has made the world a worse place. People aren't afraid of talking about how selfish they are, how freaked out they were or are. There's no order left in society where a girl just said she was getting passed around so much that her cooter box dried up. What is it? Is it a well? Like it just, and then her verbiage. She said she was being passed around. A self-descriptor of being passed around.
And you see that a lot of these modern women want the perfect man, which I get. It's just that a lot of times you guys don't really bring perfection. You bring chaos, trouble, stuff that men can't use, stuff that men don't want to be a part of. It almost seems like modern women bring the exact thing that a man doesn't want. Does that make sense? Like, out of all of the things, like say for instance, a man has a list of things that he wants, could tolerate, and then the things that he absolutely cannot tolerate. And she brings none of the things that he wants. Well, you know, she probably looks good. So that's a thing. It's a major thing that he wants. But she's not bringing anything in the middle. I have the looks, but then all this other stuff that you don't want, I'm going to bring. High body count, I'm going to bring that. Instead of just saying, okay, well, you know, there's been a few guys that I've, you know, experimented with. We'll say it like that. You've experimented with the entire town. What am I going to do with that? I mean, unless you're a dude and you've experimented with the entire town, then yeah. And I guess if you like a woman that has experimented with the entire town, then I guess that wouldn't be a problem for you. So, you know, if that's the case, I'm just saying, the things that a lot of men would say, well, you know, I would kind of go this way and I'll kind of leave these things alone. The vast majority of the things that a man would leave alone, these modern women are bringing to the table.
What is your type? Like, what do you like physically?
Rich.
I said physically, not monetarily.
6'1" light skin.
So let's say they're under 6 foot and they're rich. Does that help?
Yeah.
That helps?
Duh.
So how much does a guy need to make?
It don't matter what he makes, it matters how he spend it.
How should he spend it?
On me.
So would you say you're an expensive person?
Duh.
Do you expect your man to pay all the bills?
Duh.
Your car payment, your hair, your nails, everything.
What is he doing if he's not paying for what I need to do?
But if that's the case, what do you provide in return if he's paying for everything?
Myself. Period.
Do you know how to cook?
Yeah, I'm vegetarian, but I do not.
Oh yeah, she has lost a lot of her opportunity if she's saying vegetarian.
But she's sexy. Drops mic. I'm done.
Please, go on. So she wanted her man to pay her car payment, all the bills, buy Prada bags and everything on her, and all she provides is herself, just herself. And on top of that, she cooks vegetarian? Delusional. Come on, honey, be realistic here.
You have a lot of these modern women that, quite frankly, and this is why a lot of men are really, it'd be one thing if you were saying, I want to be selective with the people that I date, right? And you should be 100%. But some of these modern women, they don't have any, they're talking about wanting to be courted. And it's funny because they talk about that, but then they don't have any etiquette. Well, a man should do this. I believe a man should do that. Well, a man has gotten this, and this. But when you get on that date, you're ordering the most expensive thing. You're ordering, you go to a restaurant, you go to Chili's, it don't matter. You go to Chili's, you're ordering the most expensive thing on the menu. Now, mind you, you go to Chili's, you're probably the most expensive thing on the menu is $30. So you go to Chili's, you're probably getting off pretty easy. But the point is, you're going, that's your behavior. You're going for the most expensive thing. If I go into the store, I'm going for the most expensive thing. If I go into Coach, if I go into Louis V, I'm going for the most expensive thing. There's plenty of bags in the middle. There's plenty of options, clothing, shoes, sandals, whatever you, perfume, name it, whatever you want. Right there in the middle to where you don't got to go all the way to the top. And you can get something nice. I guarantee you, you're going to spend the bag. When you go into LV, you're going to spend the bag one way or another. One way or another. And there's some nice stuff in there. And instead of going for, oh, this is nice, let's do something that's budget conscious. Modern women do not have that same level of thinking, especially when it's not their money. Well, they have it when it's their money. But when it comes to a man, oh, well, he just expected to pay. And even if a woman would say, well, I don't want to run him dry, I really like this guy. She goes back into the group chat. The group chat is going to tell her, because they don't have any etiquette either. That's what a man is supposed to do. I was looking at Sex and the City reruns. That is what he's supposed to do. Do that. Mind you, they're single. They're single. No hope. Getting pumped and dumped by Chad and Tyrone every single day. But this woman is trying to get in good with this man, and this is what they're telling her. And sometimes a woman can fix it, because she'll go in there, a man will take her shopping, and she'll be like, can I get this? And he'll be like, okay. And she's like, I don't know. I really don't want to take advantage of you. And somehow, some way, they have an honest conversation about what they want to be, who they want to be, and the type of couple that they want to grow into or morph into. And they get things fixed and straight, but that happens by communication, right? But once again, modern women have to get away from that bogus group of friends that they have, that bogus environment, those surroundings. I don't care if you come from lower class, middle class, or upper class. These modern women don't know how to act. They don't know how to conduct themselves. And you hanging out with them is going to get you, is going to land you in an environment of being single and lonely forevermore.